الحمد لله الذي له جنود السماوات والأرض وهو العزيز الحكيم وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الكريم والصلاة والسلام على نبينا مولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون وقال النبي صلى الله تعالى عليه وسلم الكيس من دان نفسه وعمل لما بعد الموت والعاجز من اتبع نفسه هواها وتمنى على الله. Respectful honorable friends and mothers and sisters listening at home, as had been mentioned in the previous Jumua, the importance of living a life in accordance to the will and obedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so that when a person leaves and departs from this world, a person can leave from this world in a state that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is pleased with him. In a manner that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is pleased with an individual. For that a person will need to understand the haqiqat and the reality of this world too. In the hadith that I've been mentioning in the previous Jum'as, when Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam mentions two things, that mutu qabla an tamutu, that a person should experience death before the actual death. Meaning that a person should make preparation and prepare themselves for death. In another riwayat of the hadith, Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam mentions that al-kayyisu man dana nafsahu wa amila lima ba'da al-maut. That who is an intelligent person? Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam mentions that an intelligent person is the one who man dana nafsahu, who controls his nafs and his desires, wa amila lima ba'da al-maut, and he practices and he does deeds that are going to be useful to him after death. And in the same hadith, Nabi Sallallahu mentioned, and on the contrary, al-ajiz, a foolish person, is who follows the desires of the nafs and then just has hope in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, an intelligent one is who? And an intelligent person is not the one who's made the most of this world, who has acquired as much as possible with regards to his dunya, but at the cost of his akhirat. But an intelligent person is the one who amila lima ba'da al-maut, who does such deeds that are going to benefit him in the hereafter. And there are many deeds pertaining to this world itself that a person needs to naturally do, but by naturally doing those, a person will still get reward for it in the hereafter. For instance, acquiring a living, earning a living, going to work, these are things that are attached more towards the dunya. With regard this to be solely dunya, that this is for the sake of this world, material world. But this is also part of a person's akhirat. And that is how a person, depending on how a person earns his living, it will affect his akhirat too. The person who acquires a living for the sake of what? For instance, in the hadith, Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam mentions that at-tajiru sadukul amin, man nabiyyin wa siddiqeen wa shuhada. That a tajiru sadukul amin, a merchant, a businessman who is trustworthy and he is truthful, his hashar, his reckoning will be with the Anbiya alayhi salatu wasalam, with the shuhada and the righteous people on the day of Qiyamah. Why? Because business is that faculty in a person's life, that if a person wants to, they can very easily be influenced to go down the haram route. So many Muslims who have a grocery shop, for instance, convenience shop, and in that, in order to incline more customers and to make more profit, they will have an off license as well. They will have the bingo, they will have the lottery machine there. They will have and they will run an off license too. Maybe somebody has a restaurant, but in the restaurant they will provide alcohol as well. Thinking that look, if we have this section which is an off license, we will make more money, people will come, will have a vast range of customers. Otherwise our customers will be limited. So in order for a person to try and make as much as possible to financially benefit from any business, a person can very easily be inclined towards going down the route of haram, of deceiving people, of lying to people, selling goods which are not worthy of actually being sold, or to conceal the aib, the faults of those goods. So a person, when they are in business, they can very easily deceive people, to the extent that if somebody has a return, they won't want to return the goods, they'll make so many excuses, they'll deceive people. So because of that desire and temptation that is there, Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned that if that merchant is what, he is truthful and he is trustworthy, that his hashr will be with the Anbiya alayhi salatu wasalam, with Siddiqeen wa Shuhada, with the awliya of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and with the Shuhada. That is such a great reward for who? For a person who is Tajul Saduqul Ameen. Which shows us that there are elements of our dunya which affect our akhirat, which although it may seem solely for the sake of dunya, but in actual fact, in reality, it isn't just dunya, but it is our akhirat as well. But as Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentions here, that al-kayyisu man dana nafsuhu wa amila lima ba'da al-maut. The intelligent businessman will be the one who conducts his business in such a manner that there is maximum benefit for him in the akhirat. That business of his, that earning of halal of his will benefit him in the akhirat. That is who Tajul Saduqul Ameen is, will fall under this. So if there are many parts of our lives which may think that this is just to do with dunya, for instance, sila rahmi as well, maintaining ties, keeping ties with family members. If you read, brother, you read your sunnah, just read on the side, please, because then I will be disturbing you. Okay. Jazakallah khair. In this manner, as I mentioned to you, sila rahmi, something remaining maintaining ties with relatives. You benefit from that in this world. Husband and wife relationship, being with one another, pleasing one another, being happy with one another. These bring so much comfort with regards to this dunya itself. But if all these things, nikah for instance, are conducted correctly, then Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam says what? Nikah is what? It is nisful iman. It is a half of a person's iman is in his nikah. Which shows that there are so many parts of dunya that we need to do for the sake of dunya itself. But that too, depending on what our intention is and depending on how we carry it out, will also be for the akhirat. And that is what Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentions. That person who lives his life in such a manner, that al-kayyisu man dana nafsuhu wa amila lima ba'da al-maut. An intelligent person is the one who controls his desires, doesn't go towards haram, meaning that he is not so foolish that just for the sake of limited enjoyment, he forgoes the enjoyment of the hereafter. But he will control that limited, temporary enjoyment of this world, so that he benefits maximum and he benefits most in the hereafter. So this is who an intelligent person is, who prepares, who actually does something for the hereafter. And that is what we need to understand. That as much as we are doing for the sake of this world, that's why Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam in this hadith, similar, he mentions, وَحَاسَبُ قَبْلَ أَن تُحَاسَبُ. That make your muhasabah. Do your own reckoning already whilst you are alive, before your reckoning will take place. Do your hisab kitab, do your accounts, before your accounting will take place in the hereafter. Otherwise what will happen is, then what's going to happen is, that person will not worry about his dunya, his akhirat. He'll just do as he wants to. And then when the day of hisab comes, and then he's worried that, look, what my hisab is going to be. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam says that take to account now before your accounting will take place. By doing so, you will be in a correct position. And this is all pertaining to what? This is all pertaining to preparing a person for the akhirah, that we prepare ourselves for the hereafter, something which is inevitable. Describing this dunya, and when it comes to preparation, look at how our aslaf understood this. Sayyidina Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiyallahu ta'ala mentions that there is no day that I regret most in my life than that day on which the sun had set and one day of my life was reduced and I had not done anything for the sake of the akhirat. That day is most regretful for me. That a day passes by in my life and I find that I haven't done anything for the akhirat. That I have done nothing for the akhirat. How worse can that day be of my life? That one ajal, day of my ajal, my life has passed now, and I haven't done anything for the hereafter. And we, my dear friends, unfortunately, days and days will pass. For example, now the month of Ramadan will come soon. Now we ask ourselves, from the last year Ramadan to this year Ramadan, how much we did throughout the year? How many salats did we perform? First salat, we only came Jumua to Jumua. Only Jumua to Jumua we read. Meaning the rest of the days of the week, no salat throughout the week. One example I'm giving for those who might be doing such. So just imagine how many days of our life has passed wherein we have done nothing at all for the akhirat. And here Abdullah bin Mas'ud radiallahu ta'ala mentions that the most regretful day for me is that day that passes and I have done nothing at all for the akhirat. And in describing this dunya, Sayyidina Hasan Basri rahimahullah mentions that, look, your life in this world is only 3 days. It is only 3 days. And that too, if you look at it, it equals only one. How? He says, yesterday has passed. That is gone. We cannot change yesterday. If yesterday we had not done anything at all, we can't do anything about it today. So yesterday has gone, we can't do anything about it. We cannot repeat yesterday. That is one. The other day is what? The tomorrow. And with regards to tomorrow, there is no yaqeen that you will even get tomorrow. None of us can guarantee that, look, tomorrow we say we make plans, we make many plans ahead. We may even say that I'll meet you tomorrow inshallah. Tomorrow we'll do this, tomorrow we'll do that. But does tomorrow come? Tomorrow doesn't come for us. So many pass away and depart from this world, wherein we then say that, look, he spoke to me, he said that he's going to come to see me tomorrow. But before he can come to see us, he's already met with his Rabb. That is how life is. So he says, yesterday has gone, you can't do anything about it. Tomorrow there is no guarantee that it's going to come. The only day you really have is today. And that is the day, that is for you to do amal in. Yesterday has gone, tomorrow is not necessary that it's going to come. Somebody passes away today, they didn't get tomorrow. It is only today that you have to do something about your akhirat. But it is that today that we do not give preference to. But it is always tomorrow and tomorrow that we think we will do something tomorrow, we will do it later, we will do it later. And on this topic as well of later, something that I mentioned on the Wednesday Majlis, something very important, my dear friends. And that is, whatever change we need to bring in our lives, we should not delay that. We should not wait for later. Because when we have the desire, the intention to do something good, Shaitan will always try and stop us from doing good. And in doing so, Shaitan will not say to us that, look, don't do it. For instance, somebody came for Jum'ah Salat and may have heard something in the lecture and thought to themselves, yes, that I need to change my life. If I am just reading Jum'ah to Jum'ah, or if I am reading my Salat, but it is only Jum'ah that I actually come to the masjid, now I need to come to masjid for the other Salat. So today inshallah from Asr I'm going to start coming every day. Asr, Maghrib, Isha, definitely from tomorrow, every Salat I'm going to come to the masjid. Shaitan won't come and tell us that, no, don't do that. Because if Shaitan tells us don't do that, immediately we will know that, look, this is Shaitan. Isn't it? We will know, look, this is Shaitan. I had a good intention, now this is the work of Shaitan, so I'm not going to listen to Shaitan. So shaitan won't attack you from the front. So what will shaitan? Shaitan will come from behind. And how shaitan will then put in our minds what? That, no, mashallah, that's good intention. You should start reading your salat. But instead of starting today, it's already Shaban, Ramadan is coming. Ramadan is coming, start in Ramadan. There's more blessings in Ramadan. So start doing good in Ramadan. Don't make tawbah now, make tawbah, but make tawbah in Ramadan. Don't give sadaqah now, give sadaqah in Ramadan. Don't start reading the Quran now, start in Ramadan. You've got Ramadan coming, isn't it? For instance, somebody makes intention, I'm going to do good on Monday. Then he thinks, we say, I'll do it tomorrow, and then tomorrow. And then when Wednesday comes, he says, inshallah, Friday for sure. Friday is a blessed day, barakat day, so I'll start from Friday. So this is what shaitan does. He makes us delay changing our lives. That I'll do it this time, this time, this time. And in that, if we ask ourselves, how many Ramadans have passed in this manner? That we have said, this Ramadan I will change, this Ramadan I will change, this Ramadan I will change. All those Ramadans have come and gone, but we still haven't changed. So let us not delay to do something good for later on, even if it means the month of Ramadan. Ibadat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, good deeds, these are not restricted to the month of Ramadan, that it can only be done in the month of Ramadan. If we want to do something good for somebody, we want to help somebody, yes, in the month of Ramadan, the reward of good deeds are multiplied, they are increased by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So yes, but that does not mean, this is where we get it wrong, my dear friends. Let us understand this and teach others as well. Where we get it wrong is that we think that we should delay doing good deeds now, so we do it in the month of Ramadan to get more reward in the month of Ramadan. That is foolishness. It doesn't mean that. Why? Because we cannot guarantee we will be able to do it in the month of Ramadan. So we've left without doing it at all. By circumstances, who knows? And never mind death, which is something that comes. Aside from that, as I've mentioned so many times throughout the year, did we know last year, March, did we know, look, how this year is going to pass? Last year, March, did we know? Last year, Ramadan, the masjids were closed. We were under lockdown, if you all remember. We didn't get those opportunities. If we thought that year, that Ramadan, I'm going to be punctual with Salat with Jamaat, we didn't get that opportunity. Then we will do this and that, so many opportunities, we didn't get those opportunities. To the extent that those who even made intention for Hajj could not go for Hajj as well. Those who wanted to go for Umrah in the month of Ramadan could not go. Even this year they cannot go. So what's going to happen, we do not know. So it does not mean that we should delay doing something good now for the sake of Ramadan so we will get more reward. No, it means do the good now and do the good in Ramadan as well to increase the reward. And an example is that a person may have some money, extra money they have, and they have made the intention that, look, I want to give this in sadaqah, I want to do sadaqah of this. And we know somewhere that there's a need somewhere, and there is somewhere where I can make sadaqah of this. But then again, that's where shaitan then attacks you from behind. Where shaitan will say, just hang on, a couple of weeks now, 3-4 weeks now, we're already Shaban, 1 month, just under a month, and give it in the month of Ramadan, and you'll get more reward for it. So what do we do? Okay, let me leave it. I'll give it in the month of Ramadan. In the month of Ramadan, there is various charities that come as well. So I'll give it in the month of Ramadan. This is what we think, we delay till then. But as I mentioned to you, what's going to happen in between, what do we know? Because that is sadaqah, it's not zakat, it's a sadaqah we have with extra money. Maybe something happens within our home, something breaks down. The fridge freezer breaks down, the microwave breaks down, something or the other breaks down, or something which is important for us. And this is the time of the year when the freezers are the most important things in our homes, in our kitchen that need to be working. Now that's broken down. Now what are we going to do? So that same maybe 100 pounds or so we might have kept for sadaqah, but now we need that 100 pounds. We need it now. And now we're going to go and spend it on something that is needed for us. What's happened? We didn't get that opportunity of giving us sadaqah. And we thought that in the month of Ramadan we will give it. But the month of Ramadan comes now, we've already spent that. Because of freezer, we spend it on that, for instance. An example I'm giving to you. What it means is that if we have that now, don't delay for the month of Ramadan. Give it now already whilst you have it. And if in your heart you feel that I prefer to delay it and give it in the month of Ramadan, but you give it now, Allah Ta'ala will still give you the reward of the month of Ramadan. Why? Because Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala is not, His giving is not restricted to any specific day or any specific month. That Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, who increases the reward of the good deeds that we do in the month of Ramadan, is not restricted or limited. That only in the month of Ramadan Allah will give that amount of reward. Outside Ramadan He can't. Allah Ta'ala will give us not just that amount, but Allah Ta'ala will give us even more than that, because we had the desire of giving that. What this means is that give that sadaqah now and reap the reward of it. When the month of Ramadan comes, have the intention that now in the month of Ramadan I shall give again. Even though it may be not that amount, 100 or so, even if now it is a matter of 10, 20 or so, but now in the month of Ramadan, to do the same deed in the month of Ramadan, this is what it means. And it does not mean that we should delay the intention of doing good till the month of Ramadan. Or we should delay any action for the month of Ramadan, thinking that we're going to get more reward for it. This, my dear friends, is foolishness. This is foolishness. We don't have that outlook, neither do we have that same understanding when it comes to dunya, in the sense that if there is any good opportunities, any ways of benefiting in this world, in dunya-wise, profit-wise, there we do not think of delaying at all. If there is any good opportunity, any deal or any sale that comes about, then what do we think? We say, no, this is the time to do it. We don't delay there at all. Okay, I'll go later on. Any of your local store, and you receive what the Ramzan sales. For example, Ramadan sales. Even your supermarkets might have Ramadan sales. And you receive that and you see that, look, this is a good opportunity. There, what do we do? Do we think to ourselves, okay, it's Ramadan sale, there is still a few weeks till Ramadan. So let me delay it, I'll go closer to Ramadan and I'll do the shopping then. No, we don't do that. What we think is, no, the sale is now, so let me do it now, go now. Why? Because we know the possibility is that those things that we need may be sold out by the time that we go. So delaying in it is going to be detrimental to us. That we will miss out on those opportunities, those sales. The shelves will be wiped out. The shelves will be wiped out before we can get there. So there a person does not delay, but then jaldi karo bhai. An example I give when the majlis was, as the anka bata. This example abhi hai nahi, lagega shayad, lekin abhi nahi hai. For instance, as anka bata. And now these things, they know, they have their customers as well, they know what is needed. They know what we will clean the shelves of. Now for instance, and then we think to ourselves, there's still time, we'll go close to Ramadan or we'll go close towards Eid when we really need all the butter and that. So if we're going to delay it, my dear friends, if you're just going to delay it a day or two, by the time you go down, khalas, it's gone. The butter's gone, the oil's gone, the I.T.A is gone, the rice is gone, whatever you want is gone. Then none of us think that let me delay it. Go. And not only that, but if there is a restriction of 3 items, only 3 per person, then we'll do mashallah good tawaf. We'll go get 3, pay for it, come out, go back in again. Go back in again. Go to another counter, get 3, come back out, go back again, 3 count, and now you have the selves, so nobody's there to even see who's coming in and out so many times. And then you got the mask as well, so all the more you can disguise yourself. So we'll make sure we go in and out to pile up the 3 as much as possible. This is haqiqat, and najaiz bhi nahi hai. This is something necessity. You do these type of things. Like what I'm trying to mention is that how our aql understands these things. And we are ready to do those things. But when it comes to matters of deen, where there we are told, do not delay in doing good deeds. There, unfortunately, that it doesn't make sense to us. There it's fine, Ramadan is coming, I'll wait for Ramadan. Why make tawbah now? Chalo, continue doing the disobedience of Allah Ta'ala. Ab Ramadan hai, inshallah, I'll stop in the month of Ramadan. Maybe somebody's email with regard to something. Again, they said Ramadan is coming close, so it's a good opportunity for me to stop. So if I forget that Ramadan is coming close, a good opportunity for you to stop, how do you know that you're going to even get Ramadan, you're going to stop then? Because if you are still sinning and have not made tawbah today and you leave from this world, you'll be accountable for it. Because you didn't make tawbah for it. So do not wait and delay for the month of Ramadan. Do it from now. So Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentions, Al-Kayyisu man dana nafsuhu wa amila lima ba'd. That the intelligent person is the one who controls his desires and he does now for the sake of tomorrow. Wa amila lima ba'd. Who does for the sake of the hereafter. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us all understanding. Whatever naked good desires we may have, intentions we have, let us not delay it for the month of Ramadan and start doing it already now. What lies round the corner, my friends, no guarantee. Life has taught us all this lesson. If we were in some form of ghaflat till now, then for sure life must, and people have gone through experiences themselves, close people, friends, family, neighbors. We know so many around, my dear friends, who have gone through this ajib change in their life, not knowing what's around the corner. As I mentioned to you, this whole year has taught us this lesson, that there is no guarantee at all. There's no guarantee for life and death as well. When it's going to come, let us all prepare for it before it comes. Allah Ta'ala grant us all the tawfiq wa akhiru da'wana.